Bolt the remote control car, Sparkle the unicorn, and Patches the plush puppy were examining a tiny, colorful plastic bead that had fallen off one of Dolly's dresses. "It's so small," beeped Bolt, nudging it with his wheel. "Is this the smallest thing in the whole playroom, Sparkle?" Sparkle peered at it, her glittery horn nearly touching the bead. "It might be. I can't imagine anything smaller." Professor Paws, the wise teddy bear, who was sitting on a stack of picture books nearby, overheard them. "Ah, my little friends," he rumbled gently, "while that bead is indeed very tiny, there are things in the world so small, you couldn't see them even if your toy eyes were the most powerful magnifying glasses." The three toys looked up, intrigued. "Smaller than this bead, Professor Paws?" Patches yipped, his tail wagging with curiosity. "Much, much smaller," Professor Paws confirmed. "Imagine the tiniest speck of dust you can think of. Now imagine something 1,000,000 times smaller than that. Those are the truly tiny building blocks of everything. They are called atoms." "Atoms?" Sparkle whispered, the words sounding mysterious. "What are they, and why can't we see them?" "An atom," Professor Paws explained, "is the smallest, most basic piece of anything. Think of your building blocks. You use many blocks to build a castle, right? Well, atoms are like the tiniest, invisible building blocks that make up everything: the plastic of Bolt, the soft fur of Patches, the glitter on Sparkle, the wood of the floor, even the air we are in." Bolt whirred his motor. "So, I'm made of tiny, invisible atoms?" "Indeed you are." Professor Paws chuckled. "Everything is. Millions and billions and trillions of these invisible atoms all join together in different ways to make all the different things we see and touch." Patches tilted his plush head. "If they're so small, how do you know they're there, Professor Paws?" "That's a very clever question, Patches," said Professor Paws. "Beings in the world beyond, the very clever ones who study such things, have special ways and tools, much more powerful than our eyes, to know that atoms exist and how they behave. It's a big, amazing science." Sparkle tried to imagine an invisible atom. "So, if I could see them, a single strand of my mane would be made of zillions of these atom building blocks?" "Exactly." Professor Paws rumbled. "And different kinds of atoms make different things. Some atoms make up water, different ones make up rocks, and still different ones make up the sweet honey that rail bears love." "Wow," beeped Bolt. "So the whole playroom, and all of us toys, are like giant puzzles made of super-duper tiny atom pieces." "A very good way to think of it, Bolt," Professor Paws praised. "An atom is the fundamental piece. You can't break an atom down into anything smaller and still have it be, for example, an atom of plastic or an atom of fluff. He simplified for his audience. The toys looked around the playroom with newfound wonder. The rug, the walls, their own toy bodies, all made of countless, invisible atoms. "It's like a secret ingredient that everything shares," Sparkle said, her eyes shining. "It is indeed a wonderful secret of the universe," Professor Paws agreed. "The mighty atom, the tiny foundation of all things." Though they couldn't see them, Bolt, Sparkle, and Patches now knew that everything around them, and they themselves, were built from incredible, invisible little things called atoms.